Okay, so recently there's been an account which has been kind of blowing up lately for some not very good reasons, and it seems like they've been getting quite a bit of backlash, and yeah, it's been pretty odd. And this is the Faithful Sheriff. Now, if you don't know, this is someone who obviously looks very similar to a certain other peanut tuber, or whatever you want to call it, right? Obviously, not a VTuber, as a lot of people have been claiming, but yeah, this is essentially someone who is using a very similar model to that of someone like the Burnt Peanut, and has been blowing up lately for some of the stuff that they have been doing, especially towards children. Now, again, it's been very, very odd, and one of the big things that a lot of people have been talking about, especially in the VTuber community, is him. Now, obviously, you know, there's this thread saying least favorite VTuber with a picture of the Burnt Peanut, not the other guy. And obviously, some people saying, I suspect Burnt Peanut knew some streamers before he started already. Obviously, some people talk about the Burnt Peanut, but then if you go down, they start talking about other VTubers, and then obviously we finally get to, where is it? It's almost down here. Yeah, the Faithful Sheriff, right? And they say he previously streamed as Dr. Witnesser before becoming a VTuber, and his VTuber model is just a Burnt Peanut clone. His entire content is based on trying to talk to kids, in particular on Fortnite, to convert them to Christianity. It'd be one thing if he was respectful in doing it, but he isn't. He told a Muslim kid that he and his family will blank in hell for not believing in Christianity, and has also said the M-word and has parroted racist dog whistles. Essentially, just a lolcow Burnt Peanut. If it wasn't for this guy, I'd say Burnt Peanut or Nux Taku. So yeah, obviously, yeah, this guy is saying that they don't like the Faithful Sheriff, and I think there's plenty of good reason that a lot of people dislike them for multiple clips and multiple different things. Now, they've been blowing up lately for all sorts of different reasons. Now, this clip, there's so much stuff. Now, this was one of the main ones that blew up recently, where essentially they said, so I wanted to share some information on why you guys, with you guys on why I ended my stream early. I received this email from someone claiming to represent the Burnt Peanut, which is a cease and desist, right? And pretty much it turned out it's fake, right? It wasn't from the Burnt Peanut, and essentially it was all just engagement bait, right? And it's got 3.1 million views and 1.2k, because a lot of people saw this and thought, if the Burnt Peanut is trying to actually take legal action against the Faithful Sheriff for using a peanut VTuber model, which is literally just a Snapchat filter, that would be pretty ridiculous, right? But of course, the Burnt Peanut hasn't done that, and it's just made up, right? And a lot of people are also claiming that maybe they faked it themselves, which again might be the case, right? But then of course there's also been other situations as well, including one where he essentially was talking about another account, saying this account, Super Mega, are 100% lying, and if they tell anyone I requested this, I'll be pursuing legal action for defamation. Which essentially what they did was they added a certain body part, certain male body part onto him, and just kind of like photoshopped it on there, and then said that he wanted to do it, which or he wanted it, which again was pretty crazy. And I think it's pretty crazy to be going and taking or threatening legal action for something as simple as that. But of course, that is where people have got up to, and that has, of course, now started a lot of people to dislike this guy, because, you know, of course, there was this whole thing with the Burnt Peanut email, which obviously wasn't real, so no one cared. And then obviously him getting mad at, you know, some people editing a kind of, you know, an object onto his VTuber model. You know, again, people are like, okay, you know, whatever. But then obviously there's also been clips like this, right? Where he essentially goes around in games of like Fortnite and games like that, essentially talking to kids, right? And a lot of the time what he does is talk about, you know, faith and Christianity and whatever, and tries to convert them. But, you know, obviously sometimes as well, you know, he's talking about stuff like convincing a kid to work for ICE in Fortnite, which I think, you know, obviously regardless of what you think about ICE and everything that is going on in America, that kind of stuff, you know, you got to see that this is a bit weird, right? This is just some random kid playing Fortnite, and he's just trying to talk to them about ICE, which I think is, you know, kind of messed up. I think that, you know, you shouldn't be doing that, and I think it is very, very odd behavior to be doing that. Now, obviously, is it illegal? I don't think so, but again, I do think it's very weird, very odd, and I don't think many people are going to like you for doing that, right? And you can literally see right below me as well, like they ended up getting doxxed as well. That's how much people dislike them. Now, of course, they shouldn't be getting doxxed, but I do think that, you know, they have had a lot of backlash, which I do think is fair enough, because, of course, a lot of people don't like this kind of behavior. And it keeps on getting worse, by the way, because, you know, maybe you don't care about them, you know, talking about Christianity and ICE to random kids over on Fortnite. You know, me personally, I think, you know, you can have that conversation, but maybe do it with adults. You know, I think doing it to kids who are just trying to have fun playing Fortnite, I think it's just a bit weird. But, you know, that's just my opinion, right? But again, obviously, a lot of people have also been bringing up stuff like, you know, talking about the avatar picture of, you know, obviously them threatening legal action against that, saying, I don't give a damn about the stupid avatar. It's them taking it too far and saying I actually requested it. So obviously they're getting a little bit fragile about that kind of stuff. And that is a common kind of theme, I guess, with this person. It seems like they're pretty fragile in terms of a lot of, you know, things that happen with them. And then recently they actually set up a server where you know, they set up a Discord server, right, allowing people on there. And Midas here said, Mr. Sheriff, I joined your Discord server and noticed there was a restriction, there was no restriction on the NSFW channels while simultaneously allowing minors in the server. Do you have any comments on that? I was like, oh, yikes. And obviously he said, hi, mod at the Discord server. He. I hope this answers your question. This clears things up. Thank you. Very, very odd, right? And of course, it's absolutely crazy that is even going on. I don't know if they're actually a mod, by the way. But obviously then the Faithful Sheriff actually replies saying, the server is age restricted, so are the chat channels. Also, the Outlaw chat channel is now restricted to boosters only, and people cannot post pictures, GIFs, or links, and the server is extremely modded. I won't catch everything, but it's being taken care of, which would be good, but obviously some people are saying you're just openly lying. The server was not age restricted. It's not a part of your rules whenever you open the server, and obviously they have like an old thing here saying, you know, be nice, use common sense, no inappropriate chat, such as sexual talk or vulgarity, use common sense, no hateful talk towards another person, no talking down to someone, no posting pornographic material or inappropriate images. I mean, they did say that, to be fair, but they said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you're mentally slow. It's part of the server settings, not the rules. Which, of course, you know, that could be the case, but I'm going to be honest, you know, Midas is going in there and actually checking things and, you know, saying that this is the case. I mean, it's a little bit odd, right? It is very, very odd, and especially due to a lot of the kind of sexual nature that some of the content has become now. You know, there's a lot of people that watch him due to, A, that photoshopped image that we talked about, and also B, he does a lot of, farting and stuff on it, which, again, is also very, very odd. And they said, you screwed your server over by age restricting it, and now iPhone users won't be able to join. So you have to join on the web version due to the App Store guidelines. Then you can't be in there in iOS. You can't join in iOS. I said I joined and saw like 7 NSFW GIFs or photos in 2 minutes, which again is absolutely crazy. That extremely modded, cannot post GIFs. I've just seen 3 NSFW GIFs. One which was blank, which I can't really say what that was. Said, so Sheriff, I was DM'd by someone in your Discord claiming to represent Antifa. Which, bro, like, this is crazy, right? They said, thank you for thinking about the children's service. I said, so your server's hidden behind a paywall. And then they said, bro, said the Faithful Sheriff sent me pictures of his, like, bro, like, seriously. Like, oh my god. You can already tell that this group is obviously unhinged, right? Whether it's extremely moderated or not, there is something not so great going on there. I don't know if that's a real screenshot, by the way. I'm gonna be inclined to say it's not, but maybe it is. You never know. But again, oh, I cannot scroll down. That is the photo, by the way. That is the Photoshop photo, and I cannot scroll any further. But, you know, loads of people saying, there's a group ERP session, your VC, shut your server down. I joined and saw so much gay blank. So again, of course, it seems like, oh my god, that was so close. Again, it seems like lots of people, you know, there's so many accounts in the replies saying, you know, extremely moderated. I've seen the chats. You know, it's full of GIFs and pictures and videos of a lot of, you know, pretty adult content. So, again, a lot of people kind of not believing this point that it's like age restricted and it's heavily modded, because that just doesn't seem to be the case, right? And a lot of people have been pointing that out lately. So again, you know, that has been a point that's been brought up. And also there's this other one as well, which I just saw, which isn't really to do with it, but it's got 2 million views. It said, if you have a problem with me telling people in Fortnite about Jesus, kid or adult, you're a direct enemy of God. And if you read your Bible, it doesn't end well for the enemies of God. Which again, I just feel like is like, I don't know, I'm not like a full Christian or anything. I did, like, you know, learn about Christianity and everything whenever I was younger, and you know, was involved in all that. But I feel like saying like you're a direct enemy of God is very, I don't know. You don't see very many Christians saying that unless they're, you know, a little bit extreme, right? Like, I feel like a lot of, you know, people are like, okay, you know, if you don't, you know, like me telling people about it, that's fine, right? You know, whatever. That's usually the response that you would get, but you're a direct enemy of God. I feel like the word enemy is like, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I'd have to look into the kind of quotes and whatever that come out from the Bible on that part, but yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen someone say that you're a direct enemy of God, which I don't know if that's the case, right? But anyways, I did think it was a little bit odd. And yeah, I think this person obviously has given a lot of odd vibes to a lot of people. And this newest situation, literally coming out yesterday, right, is just another kind of factor in this with the Discord server. And this feels like the weirdest one to me, right? Because it does seem like he has a lot of younger fans as well. You know, I think it's a bit of a mix, younger and older fans. But then you got the mix of this, right? You got to think, of course, he's talking to children on Fortnite, right? He's talking to all of these people at the same time while actively promoting that photoshopped image. Because, by the way, although he says he's going to take legal action against it, he still posts it and stuff and tries to joke about it. He has those kind of pictures on his account. He also has the whole gassy fart thing, whatever, that he's got going on there. He has this Discord server, which obviously isn't moderated enough, and he's talking to children at the same time, right? And I think it is a little bit odd, right? I think it's very, very odd. And of course, you have that kind of pipeline now of if they, you know, if they meet him in there, I don't know if he tells them who he is at the end or whatever. But of course, if they go and search him up, then that's not going to be a very good time for the child, right? I'm going to be real. And I think even so, just kind of, you know, trying to talk about such serious topics with children in a Fortnite game is just weird in the first place, as well as opening up a Discord server with NSFW chats and NSFW things, and just allowing, you know, anyone to kind of enter in it. So again, extremely odd, and I can see why a lot of people dislike him, right? But of course, you know, you guys can make up your own decision on that. I've just kind of showed you everything that's kind of gone on at the moment. There's probably even more stuff, by the way, that I haven't covered, as, you know, this person has been blowing up quite a bit with a lot of their posts, but I thought it was pretty interesting just to kind of cover, as they've been, yeah, blowing up on Twitter lately. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go to GameSubs, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So, ya.